An aircraft belonging to Lena's employer arrives in Chile. The vehicle carrying the captain and flight attendants had to come to a stop due to the obstacle in the lane. Is inaccessible. Protests have been held in response to rising food prices and shortages. She gets out of the car and approaches Daniel, her long-distance boyfriend. Furthermore, he observes her and approaches her to kiss her. She didn't tell him she was going to be there since she wanted to catch him off guard. They go to his apartment. She looks around and finds a few photographs and posters, at which time she says he's been busy. He argues that he is not in Chile to have a good time. Lena informs him that the home inspection was successful. Nevertheless, he must still go through a search, and please contact me. Later, he invites Lena to a meeting of his group. He is summoned to the platform and asked to give a speech. Chile may now be considered his permanent abode since he migrated there 4 months ago. Daniel believes that they would all benefit from greater cooperation and that they should not ignore the pain of others. Be a source of wealth for a select few. People are yelling in agreement. He wakes up and cooks breakfast the following morning, but he isn't wearing any pants. She snatches his camera and begins taking pictures right away. He chases her and tells her he loves her before they kiss. The images will be processed at a later date. She tells him that he has a fantastic eye and that the photographs have improved dramatically. Daniel tells her as they prepare to sleep that he can't believe she's leaving in 2 days and then asks, "What are you going to do?" He should retain custody of her. Lena says that she is unable to stay, but she feels that he may be able to return to Germany. A phone call wakes Daniel up the following morning. He discovers that a military coup has occurred and that General Pinochet now commands the nation. People who sympathize with Allende are being caught, and Daniel's signs on campus have been removed, were taken away from them. They must leave promptly in order to arrive at their destination on time. The military will have people waiting for them as soon as they reach the street. He starts photographing the chaos in a covert way. People run in horror every time a gun is discharged, yet the military chases them anyway. Squish them to smithereens. He keeps taking photos and moves closer to get better ones, but someone spots him, and he hurriedly stops. They started hitting him while snatching his camera. Lena makes many efforts to stop them, but none are effective. On a field, a gathering of people occurs. Daniel contends that they are not indigenous to the nation, but he is dismissed. He was hit in the midsection and is told to form a line while remaining silent. A commander assures the people that Chile is resuming law and order and that everyone should stay calm. Who were wrongfully imprisoned will be released soon. Soldiers are told to shoot at anyone who moves or makes a sound. They are then taken to a helicopter that has landed in the middle of the field. 2 people exit the room, a general and a man with a bag on his head. He draws attention to audience members who are cheering for Allende. The first is apprehended. The second professes his sympathy for their cause and offers a reward, is executed. After passing Daniel, he takes another look at the placards and tells them that he made them. He is placed in a car and driven to a different site. Lena is the next to leave the arena. A large number of people are searching for loved ones who have gone missing. When she returns to Daniel's room, she finds things entirely disorganized. Lena goes to the people who support Allende in order to discover what's going on. They notify her that he has been sent to the Colony of Dignity. They claim that despite Daniel's pleas, they are unable to liberate him. Things they want to keep hidden. Daniel awakens on a metal bed, shackled to the bed's surface. When he sees a man enter, he instantly starts questioning him. Daniel claims to be German and that he has done nothing wrong. In an attempt to assassinate him, the man proceeds to electrocute him. He is subjected to beatings and other sorts of torture at the hands of the soldiers until Pius, posing as a loving rescuer, saves him. Pius informs Daniel that he is present at this moment and that there is no longer any danger. Amnesty International is a multinational organization that strives to protect people's rights, and Lena visits them. The man explains to her that the Colony of Dignity is a government that has been around for a long time and is well regarded. Allowed conduct of business. After that, he tells her to remain quiet, and they both act as if she has already left the room. Then he starts playing loud music while alerting her that he is being watched and that they may now converse. He tells her that her boyfriend is a member of a group that left Germany under Pius' command just after the Nazis came to power. Since World War II, he has created his own universe in the middle of nowhere, replete with his own set of rules. She inquires if she may enter but is advised that there is a chance she will not be able to exit again. Lena sends a message to the pilot, informing him that she will be away and requesting that he fill in for her, and she intends to embark on the vacation the following week. She disguises herself as a nun, hops a bus, and journeys to the south. When she gets out of the car, the driver tells her to start walking in the direction of the mountain. As she walks across the meadows, she comes to a portion of the forest that is fenced off and has watchtowers. When Lena arrives at the compound's gate, a woman meets her by opening a hatch and says, "God bless." Gisela, the group's most senior member, unlocks the door for her when she repeats herself. She then follows her to a building and asks if the other person would want to join them. Lena responds positively, stating that she wants to live in obedience to the Lord. Gisela packs her paperwork and other stuff, including other goods, into a box before relocating them to another room, assuring her that she would not need any of them in the future. A boy leaves one of the other rooms as Lena is gazing around. She observes him weeping and asks if he is okay, but Gisela arrives and tells her to get out of there right now. He should be left alone since it has nothing to do with her, and he has nothing to do with it. A woman scoops up the youngster and tells him to stop weeping and get up. Gisela informs Lena that it is now her turn to make a public confession in front of the group. She saw Pius, the group's leader, as soon as she came in. He inquires about her name before telling her that she must stay when she joins. Lena agrees with you. He praises her attractiveness and implies that since she is so lovely, she should already be dating someone. This is something Lena disagrees with and swears she wants to follow the Lord, but he can see it in her eyes and brain. I believe she is lying about what she is saying. And Pius tells her to take off her apron and open her top so he may inspect her. Following that, he stands up and sniffs her, declaring that he can smell the beast from hell. He continues to ask her, have you given up Satan, sins of the flesh, and other vices? Every deceit and lie. When he finally asks why she is there, Lena says that she is there because of Pius. She has an obligation to find him. He embraces her since he feels she has revealed all of the vital facts. According to Gisela, it is more convenient for everyone if men, women, and children live in different areas. Putting it another way, they enter the ladies' room, where she advises Lena to tie a wrap across her chest to keep her breasts in place. Also, advise her to take her shoes off since she has the look of a prostitute. The other females end their days at work and go home in the evening. Lena welcomes them, but they don't answer or even look in her way when she does. Doro asks Lena about the identity of the woman standing next to Gisela after she leaves. Yes. Doro giggles and then asks if she is allowed to tell her a secret. She informs her that she is considering getting married shortly. Soon. Lena is perplexed as to why men and women live in different societies. When Gisela arrives, she abruptly interrupts their talk and starts delivering each of them pills that they must take. Educate you on what they are. The following day, Daniel arranges an appointment with a doctor, who is taken aback by how unwell he is. She has concluded that the electric shocks may have caused damage to the cortex of his brain. Pius thinks that everyone has at least one redeeming characteristic. Lena is out collecting potatoes with some other females while everything else is going on. She starts to feel unwell and eventually falls to the floor. Gisela begins thrashing her, calling her a lazy slut in the process. All she needs is a glass of water, according to Lena. Gisela brings Lena a bucket of water, but she is unable to drink it. She is instead compelled to accept it. The setting. Lena sobbed herself to sleep on that particular evening. It's been a week already. The system has been changed, and all women must now report to the hall reserved exclusively for female workers. When Lena inquires about Doro's boyfriend, she replies that the two of them had only met once, 3 years ago. They first met at the mixed parade and have been together ever since. Pious religious statements are met with applause and cheers from the other guys. He is trying to resuscitate someone who has already died. The women are engrossed in whatever activity they are performing in the other room. Someone approaches the microphone and declares that the whole room heard God speak through Pius, but comes to realize that their group's amount of sin prohibits their dream from becoming a reality because they have too much sin. They begin to yell and sob. Another month has come and gone. The guy, who seems to be mentally ill and refers to himself as Hans, is led to a blacksmith. The doctor tells him that Hans is as stupid as they come and that he should just keep doing what he's doing. The doctor also encourages him not to make any changes. Keep your eyes peeled for him. Daniel accepts the pointless assignment assigned to him by the blacksmith and strives to complete it. Daniel studies his surroundings after the blacksmith has left and finds a tunnel entrance. He finds a camera inside the workshop. He is apprehended, but he acts as though he is unaware and says that he has to use the toilet. During Lena's shift, Gisela pulls her aside and initiates a talk about the forthcoming wedding. Lena announces the groom's identity as Dieter, under the idea that everyone already knows. Gisela came in that night and took Dora with her as she sobbed and fought with the other kids. Lena follows them to see what is going on since she neglected to lock the door before they left. She directs her attention to the Dora observes through the glass that all of the men are gathered in the room, and a little child is performing in front of them. Distressed, Pius warns the child to keep quiet before taking a deep breath and inhaling the air around him. He argues that it is still offensive and that the devil would stay even if angels sang to persuade him to go out. The boys agree with what Pius says and exaggerate the magnitude of his feelings in the process. Pius asks Dieter what he thinks of this ugly, stinking cow. He seems insecure, yet he swears that it stinks. Following that, she demands that he come up and remove the offensive odor. Pius claims that he can sense the existence of devils and that they must be expelled. Pius answers Dora's request for forgiveness by stating, "What we do with love." When Dieter starts hitting her, the other guys applaud loudly. Lena locates Daniel amid the crowd. Pius then encourages the other guys to help Dieter, but Lena notices and flees back to the home dorm. Pius starts beating Gisela right away since she failed to lock the door. He has no idea which of the females was involved. The next day, Lena runs across Ursel by himself and inquires about Dora's well-being. Ursel reassures her she'll make it. Then Lena inquires about how she may be taken before a group of guys similar to Dora's. Gisela gets distracted as the women are working in the field, prompting Lena to leave. Consider going for a swim. Finally, Lena is identified as the one who stinked up the water, and she is summoned to the meeting with the boys. He can see Daniel's naked body, but not Daniel himself. Pius claims that all women are dishonest, liars, and dirty, and that they all want to be purified. A loud bell disrupts the men's preparations for cleaning. Daniel has been trying to run, but a burglar alarm has just gone off. He tries to climb the fence, but the live wires electrocute him, and he collapses unconscious. They find Daniel but decide not to punish him since they fear the beatings have permanently ruined his brain, and then he just vanished. He enters the room soon after. Everyone dresses up and is urged to grin since they will be marching in a mixed parade. Their bright colors and lively energy. After 130 days, Daniel finally sees Lena as cars drive through the region. Because of the existence of both of them, she invites him to meet her later that evening in the potato shed. The government has turned a blind eye to the matter since it doesn't care that Pius is supplying them firearms and supporting them in harming people. To get to this site, the general wants to buy the poison gas that they manufacture, but first he wants to test it to confirm that it is effective. In the end, Pius finds a valid purpose for Daniel. Daniel pays a visit to Lena before starting his day after signing up to be a security guard. He apologizes for bringing her here, but Lena confesses that she joined the group precisely to seek him out. Daniel informs him that they do not conceal facts from him since they feel his brain is irreversibly broken. He will sometimes let them mate, but then take their babies away from them. They lost their moms when they were only 3 months old, so they had no memory of them. While they are talking, he unlocks a hatch and descends into a lit-up tunnel below them. Gisela waits for Lena to finish her shift so she can pick her up. Daniel doesn't move and instead looks around. When he finds the room where he was molested, he has flashbacks and decides to demolish the place. Equipment. The following morning, Lena was told to interact with Pius over the speakers. He goes on and on about how bright women are difficult to trust since they often get bewildered. Because he suspects Ursula is planning something, he orders her to keep a careful eye on her. He rearranges the furniture so that they can see more of each other. Because Lena is aware that Ursula dislikes this setting, the two of them are forthright with one another. Ursula reports that when she was 9 years old, her mother, Gisela, brought her to the farm. The age of Ursula at the time of this remark is not given. Daniel will go to the hospital later that day to be evaluated by a doctor. He can't stop drooling and continues repeating sentences that other people say at random. As he walks away, he lets the crucifix fall to the ground carelessly. When Ursula opens the item, he sees a picture of himself and Lena inside. Furthermore, he feels he has identified the exit since the only tunnel that was steel-sealed was the one he was in. Bars. They had to leave tonight because they were going to execute the fatal gas test on him tomorrow. Because Daniel is eager to spread the word about this place, he made full use of his camera to photograph the caves. The camera was purchased at the shop. According to Lena, if he hadn't been shooting, he would never have brought them here in the first place. The sounds of Gisela's tractor scare them, and Daniel flees into the tunnels. She does, however, drop one of the photographs, which Lena swiftly covers by hiding it under a bucket. Gisela sends Ursula off to her destination, but she forgets to bring her knife, so Gisela returns with it. As soon as they start talking, they realize that each of them has been told to keep a tight eye on the other. Pius is confronted by Lena with the issue of why he is doing everything. She feels that's because he likes being in charge and being among young boys. She tells Lena that she discovered the picture concealed in the crucifix and is aware of their intentions to depart, and informs her that she is going to be a mom. When Gisela arrives, she finds that Lena is still holding the potato she was holding before, so she tells Lena to alter her posture. She takes the bucket, opens it, and looks inside for the picture. Daniel steps in and declares that he has uncovered it, but Pius continues to question her, introduces them to the blacksmith's workplace and transports them there. They uncover all of the photographs in the blacksmith's notebook, prompting Pius to feel that he has been betrayed by the blacksmith. Allow Lena to continue on her path. Lena spots Daniel in the shadows and assaults Gisela as she attempts to reclaim her. Gisela steps back from her, having just one arm. At this moment, Pius realizes he has been missiled, and everyone starts looking for him. Lena and Daniel both. They return swiftly to Ursel, then enter the tunnels to locate Daniel and smash the lock. They make it outside, but Ursel is murdered when she stumbles on a tripwire, causing her to be shot instantly. Lena and Daniel hitchhike their way to the German embassy to surrender their passports, and they are successful. The photos of them both together. They have been given the proper documentation, but their flight will not be for another week. Lena calls the flight's captain and reserves 2 seats on the aircraft for today. Because the woman is dissatisfied, she decides to call someone. They are then transported away in a car by 2 airport officials after being brought to the airport's underground entrance room, telling them that they would get them once boarding began. A few minutes later, they see Pius approaching them, at which moment they realize they are stuck. Through the gap in the window, they sprint through the airport, out onto the runway, and then drive a luggage cart to the plane. The tower will give them permission to fly as soon as Pius pulls on a few cables. After some debate, the pilot gives the go-ahead to take off, and they are free to leave Chile. Thanks for watching. Watch another video.